Welcome again, my fellow developers. So before we start the session, I want to do something very important, which is pushing the changes we have made till this point to GitHub. And it's an important part. Even if I didn't do it or I didn't show it in the video, I will do it every time I finish recording a certain important part, because we have to make sure that we always push our code to GitHub. So first of all, if something happened to our local data, we already have it in GitHub stored in the cloud. And also I know the changes that I have made every single session or every single day. So whenever I want to see the progress that I've made, I can look at the commits history and see everything that I have done. So to do this, first of all, I just have to go git add and then dot to add everything, and then simply I can commit. So git commit and then -n. Let's name it basic setup. And then simply the second thing that we have done was simply fonts, etc. We don't count that. Let's say shad CNUI, and also we have added the theme provider. So theme and then provider, for example, or theme provider or theme tag or something like that. This is like the commit name. And simply after doing this, is just simply you have to push. So git push, and this is simply going to push to the not the master branch but the main branch. And as you can see, the changes have been pushed from the main locally to the main that we have in GitHub, and that's very cool. So that's the first thing I wanted to do. Now this video is related to adding authentication in our application, which is also a very important part. To achieve this, we will use Clerk. Clerk is a very nice tool to achieve all of this. As you can see right here, the most comprehensive user management platform. This simply allows us to do authentication very advanced and also very simple to our application, and gives us a lot of the nice stuff that we need in this application, certainly, and also stuff like adding webhooks. And this is what we're going to do. So there is a part that is coming which is going to be for webhooks, so which is something that we're going to use to always connect between our application and also the provider of Clerk. So whenever we make changes, we simply sync both of them. So I create a user in Clerk. When I log in with Clerk, I have to also go to the database and create that user if it doesn't exist. So whenever I update the data also in Clerk, it should do the same in my application or my database. So whenever I update something in my database, the same thing should happen in Clerk, which is updating. So everything is gonna be in sync, which is something very nice. And you're gonna learn the concept of webhooks and how to manage that, which is gonna be something very beautiful and something probably you haven't learned before, which you're gonna like a lot. So the first thing I want you to do is go to Clerk website, then login. So after login, you will be redirected to the dashboard page. And simply we have our applications right here. So simply what I'm going to do now is create a new application. So as you can see, there is the UI of the login process and also the sign up process when you click on it. So you have to choose the providers that you want to allow. So this is totally up to you. I'm going to allow Google, and you can allow login with email. Also, you can add with the phone number. If they have a phone number, they can use the phone number. Also, if you want to allow them to use the username, you can do that. But I'm just going to check the email and also Google, and that's enough for our application. And then I will click create application. So I have to name it, sorry. So I'm just going to go Multivendor and then Ecommerce. So this is the name of the application, Multivendor Ecommerce. And then I'm going to click create application. So just wait a few seconds, and the application now is ready. And automatically they're gonna give us the instructions to actually integrate this into our application. So the first step is we have to install Clerk and then /Next.js in our application. So we can take the name and go back to our application and then open the terminal, and we have to do bun add and then add Clerk /Next.js. And it's a very simple process, and it's already done. Okay, bun is very fast and I like it a lot. So and then we go back here and it says set your environment variables. So simply we're going to have an env file. An env file simply is a file that you store your sensitive informations. So we have this certain informations right here. I can't just simply go and like in my application have it in my code, because that's very dangerous. It is something that people can read. So we have to store it in somewhere that is safe, which is the env. And I know you are very familiar with it, so it's not something new to you. So I'm just gonna copy that, and I'm gonna go back to my application. I don't know why sometimes I feel like I have to explain everything to the detail, but sometimes it's not necessary, as most of you know this. So I gotta go to .env, and I'm gonna paste this right here. So don't use this, use yours, because I'm just simply gonna delete the application after I'm finished with the course. So we have the next public Clerk publishable key, and then also we have the secret key. After that, we need a few other stuff that I'm going to add to the application. So you don't have to to add them anywhere else, just in the .env, and the application or Clerk will simply look for the .env file and look for this options right here, or these informations that we'll need to use in your application. Simply, I'm going to paste this right here, which a few other stuff, which is the public sign-in URL. So this is going to be where we sign in, which is going to be /sign-in, and for sign up is going to be /sign-up. And then after we sign in, where we're going to be redirected to, which is going to be the /, and also for the sign up URL, you can change this to whatever you want to, but keep the public key and also the secret key to what we have right now, because these are sensitive informations that we will need. So now if you go back to our application, let's follow what we have. So we have to go to create a middleware.ts in our source directory, and then we have to put this there. So this is like the middleware that you manage everything right here. You can allow which pages to be protected and which pages that are going to be public. So this is the middleware that we're going to need. So simply, I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to go back also to my application, and inside the source, I'm going to create a new file that is going to be the middleware.ts, and I'm going to paste this right here. We'll come back to it later to manage certain other stuff. So this is for the middleware. So I hope I spelled the name right. So middleware, yeah, this is how it should be. And then after that, let's go back to the instructions. So the last thing is to add the Clerk provider to your application. So this is something that we have to add in our layout. So I'm just going to go back to our application and then go back to the app and then the layout.csx. And we're going to cover everything inside that Clerk provider. So I'm just going to add the Clerk provider right here. So Clerk, it seems like we don't get it. Okay, so what we're going to do is just simply leave it like this. And I'm going to go back to the application. I'm going to copy the name so we can import this after. So I'm just going to go back and add this right here. So let me try to import it again. You know, it's not allowing us, but that's fine. Now we need to close that. So we're going to close the Clerk provider. And now let me just go back and add the imports right here. So I'm just going to take this, the imports, copy it, and then we have to go right here. And let me just have it right here. For example, we only going to need the Clerk provider, and simply let's add a comment here, which is going to be Clerk provider, like this. And as you can see, now we don't have any errors. So the Clerk provider is what's gonna cover the whole application. So the user that is gonna be logged in, or the session, everything is gonna be included inside here, and we have access to it in the whole application. That's the idea. So for example, if you wanna do it only on a certain page or a certain route group, you can apply the Clerk provider only there. But because we're gonna have the authentication on the whole application, we can do it this way, okay? So that's very cool. So the last thing that we have to do is to create the sign in and sign up pages, which also a very simple process that we have to make. So what we have to do right now is create a route group. So inside our app, I'm going to create a route group. So normally when you create a normal page, let's say, for example, page, and then inside of it, you create the page.csx. Simply, this is a page. So like RFC. So this is an actual page that you have created. But if you took this page right here and add the parentheses right here, like in the stars and beginning, so these are the inside parentheses, now it becomes a route group. And a route group doesn't register in the URL. So simply, if you want to access this page, it's just simply in the /, because page right here inside parentheses is a route group and it doesn't count. But if I remove this, if I remove the parentheses and I want to access the page, I have to go /page. That's the idea of route groups. And route groups can have their own layout, their own error pages, their own loading pages. And that's the beauty of it in this Next.js application. It has a lot of new features that we all like. So for this one, it's just going to be /auth. And you're going to see the example and you will understand more. So we're going to say this is the route group auth. So simply that doesn't affect the URL. And let me remove this page right here. So inside the auth now, I can create the page, okay, which is going to be sign in. So if I want to access the sign in page, now I don't have to go /auth /sign in, but I can just access it by /sign in, as auth is a route group and not a page. So inside the sign in, the instructions from the Clerk website, what we have to do is we have to do this way, okay? So we have these brackets right here, and inside of them we have a second brackets right here, and then we have 3 dots, and then we go sign in, okay, like this. And here we create our page .tsx this way. So sorry, my bad, it has to be page so it can be readable, okay? And then we can go RFC like this, and this one we can call it sign in page, okay, and remove this. So this is the sign in page, and inside of here I can call the sign in component from Clerk provider. So this page now is going to be available for me to see in the browser. So let me go back to application, and all I have to do now in my application, let's see first of all if it's running or not. So let me make sure that the app is running. So we have to go bundev like this, and let me go back to my application and let me refresh the page. So let's wait a little bit. Okay, so now I have refreshed the page, so I can go now /. When I go /, I have to go sign in and then enter. So when I do that, you will see now that I have the sign in page right here. So I'm very zoomed in so you can see it. So this is just simply for accessibility for you, so you can see everything that's going on. But normally this is how it looks, like this. Okay, so it's like on the top left, and we don't want that. We want to make sure it's in the center. So to achieve this, we can just simply go right here. For the class name, we can make the height is the height of the screen, which is 100 viewports, and then for the width, it's going to be width form. And then you could use flex, like flex, and then item center, and then justify content center to center everything there. Or you can do it easily, which is using grid, and then place content center or item center, and you achieve the same thing. So now if I go back to my application, is going to be in the center, and as you can see right here, we have the option to sign in with Google or use the email address. Okay, so now what we have to do, let me just go back to my application and do the same for the sign up page. So I'm going to take this sign in page and I'm going to just paste it. So we're just going to go here, and this is going to be now sign up. Okay, and after that we can just go inside of here, and we have to also change this to sign up like this, and then inside of the page we have to make sure that this is now the, let me change this to sign up. Okay, so sign up like this, and now I can replace everything and just save. Okay, so now I have also the sign up page. So if I go back, instead of sign in, I can have sign up also. So I click there and I have the sign up, and I can actually sign up with my email and then a password, or I can continue directly with Google. And you click on sign in now, it's going to take you the sign in page. That's why I said we have to add this information right here in the env file, so it does know where the sign in and sign up page are. Okay, so that's very nice. So now let's try this process. So for example, let's say I wanna let me go back to my dashboard here. So this is my multi-vendor e-commerce. I'm just gonna go right here and click on users. So as you can see, we don't have any users here. So now let me try and actually see how it's gonna go. So for example, I can use Google. So when I do that, it will ask me, so directly it logged me in because I already have, because I only have one email in my in Google account in my browser. So when you have that, it's only gonna sign you with that directly. So if I refresh right here, I'm gonna have a new user here. Sorry, just wait, and this is the only email that I have there, so that's why it signed me there that way. Okay, so but if you have multiple, it's gonna show you first what's the actual emails that you have, and you pick between them. So that's it. That's actually quite cool. So let me actually see what we can actually do. So yeah, we can actually do something now. Let me just go back and show you something in the home page, which is another nice thing that they have for us because they make our life much easier. I'm gonna go back to the home page, and let me just go, let me do it here. Okay, so I'm just gonna go here and add another component, which is the user button, which we get directly from Clerk.js. Okay, so I'm gonna have flex, and I'm gonna have like a gap x like 5 or something. And then by going back to our home page now, we will have this right here, which is the user button from Clerk, which allow us to see the email that we are logged in. We can also sign out, and we can also manage our accounts. See, we're changing the information right here. But as you can understand, for the authentication that we have, it just simply happens on Clerk. So if I change something here, it's only gonna change here. But don't worry, when we create our database, which we're gonna do pretty soon, we will do that, and simply, as I told you, we're gonna use webhooks to synchronize everything that is going on in the database with everything that is going on here. So if I updated something here, not only is gonna update in Clerk, but also update in the database. So that's quite cool. You can test this. So let me just actually try now to sign out, and we will be able to, and that is quite cool. So there is also something else. Let's try it, for example, to protect the home page. So what I'm gonna do first, let me go here, and all I'm gonna do, let me just go right here, instead of h1 right here, let me remove that and say this is home page. Okay, let's actually make this home page protected. Okay, so to explain how to protect pages in Clerk, we're gonna protect this home page, so you are only allowed to log in it when you are actually logged in. So right now, if I actually go back here, let me see, we are not logged in. That's why we don't see the user button. If we are logged in, we will see that. So what to achieve this, just for testing purposes, I'm gonna go back to my middleware, okay? And inside this middleware right here, it takes a function that takes the request and also takes the auth first. So auth first, and then it takes the request, and also it takes next, okay? So just simply go now as an arrow function here, and here we do our test. So for example, const, and let's call this protected routes, okay? Or just have it one for now. And what we have to do is create a route matcher. So route matcher, okay, create route matcher from Clerk Next.js server, and then simply right here we can just add an s right here, because this can take multiple routes. So all I have to do inside parentheses right here, and I can have this like an array, and simply right here specify which pages are going to be protected. For example, it can be //. So if // that means the page is going to be protected, which is our home page. If you have a certain page like the dashboard, you can just simply add the dashboard. If you want all the pages inside the dashboard route to be protected, you can simply go dashboard, open parentheses, and then dot and star, and that will protect all the pages inside. So that's quite cool. But now for now, let's just have the home page. When you do that, simply now, if we have a protected route, so we can see if protected route, and we pass the request to it like this, all we have to do in this scenario is just simply use the auth. So simply the auth that we have from the Clerk middleware, which we have right here, pass or extract from the function, and then we can go dot and protect. So now we have to protect these pages that are included in the protected routes. For now, we have only one, which is the home page. So if I go back to my application right now, you will see whenever I try to access the home page, it will redirect me to the sign-in page. And the reason for it, because that's a protected page, I cannot access it unless I'm logged in. So now let's try to log in. First of all, I'm going to try the sign up with the email, for example. But let's try, I don't have an email logged in here, but let me just try it, for example. So let me try with this email. I don't think I have this email anymore, but let's try it, and we can use a certain password right here, and let's continue. So now I'm gonna get a password in my email, so just give me a second to check my phone. So I got that, which is 2 and then 33962, okay? So when we do that, it's gonna give us a success message, and we will be redirected. So let me close this right here. What happens? Oh, so it seems like we have some problems. Let me try to, this page is not working at the moment. It's probably some issue with Clerk. So let me go back to the localhost 3000. Yeah, we have a problem. Let me check what do I have right here in the terminal. So this issue is good because it's I'm gonna show you how to actually fix it. This is a problem that happens sometimes. So this usually means that the system clock is inaccurate. That's a problem just simply with your clock. So what we can do is just go to the settings, and we can go with time right here, and date time settings. We open that, and then make sure that you click this to make it off, and then simply turn it on again. Okay, when you do that, now let me just come back. You see, this is the wrong time right here because I have a +1 hour. Okay, so when we do that, now let me close this and run this again. That's a common problem that happens. So the fix is really easy. Just simply set to automatic. Okay, so now what we have to do is go back to our application, and let me try to access the localhost 3000 again. And when we do that, now it's gonna work. So now, as you can see, it works, but I don't see the user button right here. That means we are not signed in. We just signed up. We didn't sign in. So now let's try to sign in, actually. Yeah, and we have done that with this email that we have created. Let me sign out again, and let me try to sign in again with the email address. So I'm going to do that and then continue. And then if I enter the wrong password, as you can see here, it will say that the password is wrong. If I enter the right password, I will be able to log in, and now I am logged in. So that's the beautiful thing about this. I just showed you how this works. So of course the home page is not going to be protected. Everyone is going to be allowed, but for the dashboard, etc., it's going to be a different story, and we will come back to that later. So this is how you do it. Let me actually do it for the dashboard. So we're gonna go dashboard, and everything inside it is gonna be protected. So we'll just have go dot and then star right here, and this is gonna protect not only the dashboard but all the pages that comes inside of that. So yeah, that's it for actually adding authentication in our application. It was quite simple, which I like, so it's not hard. So we have done that, but this is not enough. So yeah, in the next video probably we will work on actually the database and then linking both. So now let me push. So I'm just gonna do this again with you, but yeah, so let me get, first of all, what I'm gonna do, go back to my home page, remove this. I like everything to be organized, so I'm just gonna go back and do the same thing. So everything I already have, that's git add, and then for the commit here, so we can say basic auth, basic clerk authentication, okay, added, okay, and then click enter and then git push like this. And in the next video we'll add the database probably, and then we will see how to synchronize between them. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this, and see you in the next videos as usual.